Welcome to Next to Madison, a podcast to help you live your best life.
It's your host, Madison Malloy, and I have exciting news. My new product is now available on Amazon called Color Your Way to Abundance, a 21-day manifestation guide for wealth, health, and love. This unique coloring journal will help you manifest by coloring in the affirmations while you continue to repeat them. This will help activate these affirmations so they become a reality. Grab your copy today and relax, color, and start manifesting.
Welcome back to another fun episode of Next to Madison. I am your host, Madison Malloy. Just a reminder, please leave us a rating and a review if you have not yet. It helps us get discovered more and to keep putting out information that's going to make you happier, healthier, and wealthier. So today's topic is a solo topic. I love coming on here solo once in a while because I think it's important, especially with the work I do in personal development, to be able to kind of share with you more of my insights and my teaching and experiences through my own life and also coaching clients so I can help you become happier, healthier, and wealthier. So today I put together a bunch of notes because there's so much good stuff in this episode that I feel is going to benefit you. Okay, so take notes, share it with a friend, listen to it again, whatever you got to do. But I titled this episode, "The Success You Crave is on the Other Side." It's usually the other side of fear, which is true, but I also think it's on the other side of giving less fucks. Yes, that matches up with the title of my first book, Time to Lighten the F Up, which is what we all need to do. And sometimes I got to tell you, even though I wrote that book, I got to tell you that sometimes I need to remind myself when things get a little hectic and a little crazy that, wait a second, aren't you the author of Time to Lighten the Fuck Up? How about you lighten the fuck up? We constantly do need that reminder because life can get crazy. It can get overwhelming. We get in our head and we just don't know what to do, right? We feel things are falling apart and we just sometimes need to be like, you know what? Let's lighten the fuck up or give less fuck. So this was a really cool title for me to come up with for this episode, right? And because I would say in my life, like if giving too many like F's or fucks was a full-time job, like I would have been a billionaire in my 20s, but also emotionally bankrupt. And that is exactly what happens when you give too many fucks. You give your power away, right? You've just got to lighten the load. So I think that we're going to dive into what I think is one of the biggest success killers out there, which is basically giving less fucks, is caring too much what people think, right? You want to be kind, you want to be respectful, but at the same time, you don't want to be a prison to people, right? Because you will be a prison. You will live in their prison if you just keep caring too much what they think. You've got to live your authentic life. You got to be a good person, but you have to do what is best for you. And this goes into the topic of people pleasing. Like I used to be a professional people pleaser. Like my God, like I would filter my decisions and my dreams through the lens of, will this offend anyone? Or what if I fail or I look stupid? And, you know, let me tell you something. The moment I started to finally give fewer fucks, things finally started to work. They really did. It was like I got before, it's like, let me explain it like this. Okay. If I'm rambling, just realize I'm getting back to the point. You get on a kayak, on a river or canoe, or you get on something that's taking you downstream, right? And when you start giving too many fucks, you start paddling backwards, trying to go back upstream, but you really can't because there's so much resistance. And then when you stop giving so much of a fuck and you stop people pleasing, you allow the current of the river, aka in this case, life, to let it lead you to where you need to go. You're in control of what you can control. The paddles, okay, that you're moving to get you there, to kind of guide you around the rocks, things of that sort. But you're going with the flow. You're not going against the resistance. And that's what giving too many fucks will do. So this episode is not isn't about being reckless, but it's going to be about setting you free. So there's a reason that so many of us choose to paddle upstream, right? And against the current instead of going with it, or why you're giving too many fucks. Number one, we were obviously raised to care, not a bad thing, to be nice, likable, appropriate, realistic. We were trained to fit in, not stand out. But guess what? The people you're scared of offending or disappointing, they're just as busy overanalyzing their own lives and their own shit to really be that concerned about yours. Most of the people that you're actually trying to impress won't even remember what you said last week. Think about that. Have you ever seen somebody walking down the street with a stupid outfit on? You looked at them funny. You might have said something in your mind or to your friend, but did you talk about it 20 minutes later? Most likely not, right? You just forgot about it and you moved back right on with your day. And that is exactly how people kind of look at your life. So here's the thing. They won't remember what you said last week. So why do you hold yourself hostage to them? Caring what people think is the tax you pay for playing small. And I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. I had to do notes on this because I'm like, God, there's so much in here, right? So the cost of caring, this is what it costs you, okay? So I'm going to be honest about what it's going to cost you. If you care too much what people think, right? You give too many fucks, you're going up the stream. It's going to cost you the job you didn't end up applying for, the business you never launched, the message you're too scared to post, the relationship you stayed in too long, and the life you actually want, right? This really can relate a lot to social media, right? There are people making a fortune on social media right now, and it is because they give less fucks. Do you know how hard it was for them to put themselves out there in funny, weird, dumb positions or say what's on their mind and be vulnerable to a bunch of strangers and not get a ton of views or not get a ton of likes because that's what happens when you start, but they continued to do so. And now look at where they're at now, where the people that really gave too many fucks don't have a social media. They're going to their day job and hope you enjoy your day job. But wouldn't it be kind of nice to get paid to review a hotel or get paid to get free clothes and skincare and model them off or do whatever or live the world or do what you want and have people buy your books or listen to your podcast? It's pretty cool. But you got to be vulnerable and give less fucks to put yourself out there because people pleasing is emotional debt. And it is time to cut this card. So I want you to ask yourself, okay, where in my life am I letting someone else's opinion rent space in my head rent free? I'm going to repeat that question again. Where in my life am I letting someone else's opinion rent space in my head rent free? I want you don't have to come up with it right on this moment. Something you can write down, something you can come back, something you can sleep on. But this is going to be a very big indicator. And usually when you say you hit what it is, that's the thing that's going to set you free. The thing that you stop giving a fuck about and you say, you know what? I don't really care. I'm going to do this because I want to do it. It makes my heart sing. It makes my heart happy. And I'm going to go with the flow of life because it is meant to be enjoyed. It is meant to be abundant. And that's where the magic is going to happen. So here are some steps I came up with of how to give fewer fucks. And it's so funny. After I wrote my book, I only put 23 F words in there. It was 72, but I took it down to 23. Matador and I kind of had some arguments about this. But I said, okay, I think I got to clean it up a little bit. But then I thought to myself, well, this is kind of me. I'm still doing comedy, even though I'm speaking out there and I'm still running my podcast. You got to be authentically you. And I said, if I keep censoring myself and saying, well, so and so thinks I should do this, or, oh God, my aunt's not going to approve of that, I'll never be able to authentically get my voice out. Okay. So as much as I'm going to clean up my next book and probably have no F words and maybe just one F word, I don't know. I feel like I should just sneak one in there just for the fun. This is a fun episode to do. And just to be able to say how to give fewer fucks and the F word is kind of fun again. It's a release. It gives me release. I don't know. Maybe it's my inner Tony Robbins. Who knows? All right. Here is how to care less so you can live more. Number one, I really did some deep dive on this into my head of like, all right, out of all the people I've coached all over the world globally, let's put this together and give the top 5 things. So number one, check the source. Whose opinion is it? Would you even take advice from them? Are they living the life that you want to live? Everyone has an opinion, but not everyone's opinion should impact what you're doing. Number 2, run the worst case test. They judge you, so what? You survived. You grow. People are saying stuff about you all the time. They're judging you all the time. Who cares? It doesn't matter, because even if you are hitting it big, they're going to judge you no matter what. So you might as well just do what you need to do. Number 3, you need to decide what matters. If it doesn't serve your purpose, peace, or paycheck, then it's not worth your energy. Okay. Number 4, be cringe on purpose. Post that video, launch that idea. You'll gain the confidence in the discomfort. Literally, don't be afraid to be seen. Be cringe. That's what stands out. That's what gets people paid. And use this mantra. I'm not for everyone, and that's the point. I love this mantra so much, so I'm going to repeat it again. I am not for everyone, and that's the point. If you came to a book publisher and you said to them, and they said, who's your target audience for your book? And you said to them, everyone. The meeting would be over. You'd be out the door with no deal. Okay. Not every product, not every book, not every podcast is for everyone. The reason they are called target market. So you as an individual, to be the greatest gift you can to this planet, have a target market. So just own the fact that, hey, I'm not for everyone, and that's the point. And I love this mantra, and I use this a lot, like in my dating life. I mean, I need to be better about putting some effort into that. I got to tell you what, it's like another job, and I'm not doing that job. Anyways, but I should start doing that job. But I used to think like, I used to go into dates with like, oh gosh, I hope they like me. I hope I look okay. And now I go on the date and I'm like, I'm going to be me. And if they don't call me back or they do call me back, it doesn't matter because I'm not for everyone. And that's the point, because I only want that one special person that God made for me. I don't need a whole slew. And so it's like, yeah, I'm not for everyone. If you don't like me, that's okay. I'm good to go. And that is power. Okay. So on the other side of giving less fucks, okay, a few things are going to happen. Number 1, you're going to feel happier. You're going to move faster. Okay. You're going to be able to make decisions faster. You're going to be able to put yourself out there. You're going to trust yourself more. You're going to attract real and aligned opportunities because you're authentically yourself, and that energy and that frequency you give off is going to start attracting that to you. And you're going to stop needing validation because your self-worth isn't up for negotiation anymore. You're going to stop asking God, this is my favorite question. Does this make my butt look big? Does this make my butt look flat? Does this make me look old? Mine is not fat these days, but I have said to my friends recently, do I look old? Does this make me look old? Who gives a shit? I am getting older. Getting older is a gift. We're going to do a whole damn episode on that too. I got to tell you. I got a lot to say, and I'm just yapping away because I'm always the one asking the questions. And I got to get on here and run the show. So yes, success doesn't come from being liked, people. It comes from being unapologetically you. Be you. God made you who you are. There's nobody else like you. Embrace your weirdness, embrace your strengths, embrace who you are, shine that light, because some of the self-help gurus will say this is like a stage, right? You're the writer, director, and creator of your life. But every person on the planet right now is serving a purpose, or they wouldn't be here. So everybody has a purpose. So when people take themselves out, it kind of messes with things because all of a sudden things aren't that purpose There's somebody there that was filling that purpose. So you want to make sure that like you are living that light, that you understand that you are just enough as you are. You don't need this outside validation. You don't need to put yourself in debt to impress people that don't care about you and you don't really care about either. You need to do what makes your heart sing, what makes you happy, no matter what it is. It could be wanting to give up your career and be a stay-at-home mom and raise kids, or be a farmer. It could be starting a new company, a skincare company, and people are going to say to you, but it's an overly saturated market. How are you ever going to make it? How do you have this experience? That's the noise. Less fucks, more action. That's it. Less fucks, more action. I just came up with that and I like it. Less fucks, more action. When you give less fucks and you say, what makes my heart sing? That's when the magic is going to happen. And I got to tell you a personal story. I had been feeling a little blue. Okay. Here I am telling people to live your best life, manifestation, gratitude in the morning, but you're still human. Okay. And you're still allowed to have those emotions. And I've talked about, when you get sad, lean into that, see what you can learn. What is your body telling you? But I didn't really have a reason to be sad. And one of my friends said to me, last summer you seemed on cloud nine, but you weren't making as much money as you are now. And this summer you seem just a little, not depressed, but just less on cloud nine. And it wasn't this summer, it was like this spring. And I said, I don't feel like totally myself either. And I realized, because I had delayed some stuff that I had been working on and was busy doing something else at the time, and I wasn't living my purpose. And when you don't live your purpose, the universe and God are going to send you signals. And the signals can be in a form of depression. It can be in a form of over-validating, seeking outside validation, feeling less than, not feeling social, not putting yourself out there because you're worried about people's opinions. When you start living your purpose and you do what makes your heart sing, stop making those social media videos hoping that you're going to have, a viral video. Make them because maybe just one person that sees it, it changes their life. Just one. And that's why I go into, when I make my videos, I don't do it to go viral. I make those videos to create value. And even though I look at like, for example, my TikTok's not as big, and somebody says to me, oh my God, your video you made about X changed my life. The video didn't go viral, but oh my God. And I knew at that point, well, I'm doing my job. It doesn't matter as long as one person benefits from it. And I want people to think that way, because you'll be more likely to put yourself out there in the public eye when you say, I'm not worried about the views. I'm here to bring value. I think when you go with life and you're like, okay, I give less of a fuck. I'm going to live my life authentically. I'm going to follow my heart. I'm going to live my purpose. You're going to feel better, but you're also going to start going and living your life value driven and purposefully driven, like you're adding value. And that's where success comes from. I'm telling you. Okay. So let's take this episode home. So every time you choose peace over performance, power over people pleasing, and progress over perfection, you're going to win. So here's the challenge I want to leave with you today. What's one thing you've been holding back on because you care too much what people think? Let me say that again. What's one thing you've been holding back on, you're not doing because you care too much what people think? It could be starting a TikTok account. It could be a business. It could be starting a podcast. It could be writing that book. Whatever it is, I want you to think about it. If it makes your heart sing and you want to do it, then there's nobody out there that can stop you except for you. Okay? So I want to encourage you to go do it today, because the version of you that gets everything you want is the version of you that gives way less fucks about it. Okay? So again, I want you to start with this mantra and do it every day. I'm not for everyone, and that is the point. So here is to bright new beginnings, amazing summers, amazing falls, amazing rest of your life. You get to wake up tomorrow, okay, with the reset button. You hit the reset button and you stop giving less Fs. Oh, fuck. Why did I censor myself now? You stop giving less fucks. And I'm telling you, you're going to watch your power explode. And that is what I am here to do. So I hope this episode helped. If you know somebody in your life who gives way too much of a fuck, please send them this episode and tell them it is time to lighten the fuck up. They can do so by going on Amazon. Yes, shameless book plug. But people loved it, okay? Time to lighten the F up on Amazon, but also just understanding that the less they care about validation, outer validation, and giving less of a fuck, the better their life is going to go and how they're going to be able to embrace and reach the abundant life that they actually deserve and they want to live. So I thank you all for listening to this episode of Next to Madison. We'll be back next week with another guest to make you happier, healthier, and wealthier. We'll see you next week to find out who's next.
Hey, your host here, Madison Malloy. Please make sure to subscribe to the show on all podcast platforms and please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at contact@nexttomadison.com. I thank you again for listening. Bye.